Hey, Backpacker Mike family. I'm coming from my new Airbnb in Caen, France, Caen, on the northern coast of France. I uploaded a video to Facebook earlier. So I thought I would just give you a quick recap of Paris, and I'm sure I will forget some things, but I thought I would just give you guys a few little tips. I flew into Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is actually named after one of their famous World War II generals. But I decided to meet up with my host for my Airbnb host. I decided to do the subway, the RER train, to get there, and it was a bit of a challenge because I wasn't familiar with the system, with the train system or the subway system, and so it took me a little bit to get used to it, and probably took me a lot longer to get to the 10th arrondissement or the 10th district than it probably should have normally. Now, as I was there for the 10 days, I began to learn my way around real quick, and also started to understand the subway system. But when you arrive, I would suggest downloading an app called City Mapper. You should be able to find it in your Google Play or your Apple Store or whatever. But that one will tell you what trains and buses and everything. All you have to do is just plug in your location and where you're at, and it'll tell you what trains and buses and where to get the metro station or the bus stop or whatever. It was very helpful. So anyway, I would suggest that. But it took me a while, but I met up with my Airbnb host, and he was a really nice guy. And I suggest looking into Airbnbs because they're roughly about the same cost as a hostel. So my Airbnb, and because I booked a week, they gave me a discount, so it came to about $35 a night, which is relatively comparative to the hostels. So it's a great option to do that. Plus, you get your privacy. So I would definitely suggest looking into an Airbnb, even if you have a private room or whatever. The private rooms you can probably get even cheaper. So anyway, from the subway standpoint, you'll get used to it once you're there, but I suggest you download that app, City Mapper. Next, the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower was just absolutely amazing, and it was one of the icons that I definitely had to go to in tourist attractions. The Eiffel Tower was amazing. It's free actually to get into the bottom of the Eiffel Tower. You don't have to pay to get into the bottom. So if you just want to go to the bottom and take pictures and so on and so forth and not go up it, it won't cost you a thing. You just have to go through the security thing, bag check, metal detector, the whole 9 yards. So it's unfortunate that we've sort of come to that now, but they do that a lot in Paris at a lot of the sites. So the Eiffel Tower, if you go to the right, it's the cart that takes you up. It's about 17 euro for that, and stairs, I believe, are to the left, and that's, I think, around 11 euro to walk up the stairs. So it depends on how much you want to walk. I took the cart. I actually got in that line by accident, but it was worth it, and I went all the way to the top, and it's worth it to go all the way to the top. So I would do that for sure, and stick around until like 11 o'clock, I believe it is, and the whole tower starts glittering, as some of you saw the video that I uploaded before. And the grounds, the big park area or whatever, uh, they sell small bottles of wine and things, so you can kind of sit out on the park and have a little picnic and wait for the Eiffel Tower to glitter. So it's pretty neat. Next, the food and costs. The food, the food was good. It wasn't quite as filled with spices as I had expected. There was the food was good, but I just didn't taste a whole lot of flavor. Sometimes it just seemed a little bland, and they were just going off of. But who knows? Maybe that's just because I'm used to a different kind of food sometimes. So, but overall, the food was pretty good. And there's several different options from the cheap option. Of course, they have McDonald's and everything else. But there's the cheap option on up to an expensive option or a mid-range option. So, and there also they do. It's basically like a whole meal. So it could go anywhere from 10, 50 euro up to 30 euro if you wanted to. It just gives you different options, but those meals provide you with an appetizer, a main plate, a dessert, and a drink. So sometimes they're worth it. You just have to figure out which one you want. But what I did too is I went to the markets when I got there. So I went to the market, and the market prices really weren't that bad. I went to Fran Pricks, I think it was what it was called. But I got, a few things for like breakfast and lunch and snacks to take in my backpack with me and stuff like that. So just to cut down on some prices and things, bought a 12 pack of water and, stuffed one in my backpack and my day pack. So I would suggest going to the market, and so you can cut down on a few meals during the day. And especially most of the Airbnbs will have a coffee maker, a microwave, a stove, or a hot plate or something like that, so you can make meals and cut down on expense. The Pantheon was just absolutely amazing. It was €9 to get into the Pantheon, which was cheap considering a lot of the other places, and it was €2 extra to go to the top. And for those of you who saw that video that I shot and the pictures that I took from up there, the view was just absolutely amazing. If you don't want to wait in the line at the Eiffel Tower, there's virtually no line at all at the Pantheon, and you pay the extra $2 and you can go up and get amazing views there. Not as amazing as the top of the Eiffel Tower, but still pretty amazing nonetheless. So the Pantheon I would definitely suggest. Notre Dame, the line was long, but it actually went pretty fast, and Notre Dame was just absolutely amazing. And we got there. I went with my new friend Simon that I met from Liverpool, England, and we got there, and they were still doing the end of a mass or whatever. So, but it was absolutely amazing. Notre Dame. I suggest you do that. Now there's also €10, which we didn't do. You can go outside once you finish the tour and go to the right and get in line, and then the €10 will get you up to the dome on Notre Dame, so you can look out, which is, I'm assuming, similar to the Pantheon, and the Pantheon's a lot cheaper at €2. The Sainte-Chapelle was really nice as an older church. It's right down the street from Notre Dame. I uploaded a video of that too. As far as the people in Paris were absolutely amazing. Strangers that I met, people I asked questions. There's a fair amount of people there that speak English. I use Google Translate whenever I got stuck, and it worked out good. So I suggest making sure that you have that available to you. I thought about doing the Moulin Rouge till I got online, and I saw that it was the cheapest ticket was like €109, and that didn't even include dinner, so I didn't even bother going by there. Although that's another one of those iconic areas to go to. So anyway, overall, Paris was just absolutely stunning. I got used to the subway system, although I walked a lot. I stayed in the 10th arrondissement, or the 10th district, and it's fairly close to the city center. Maybe a 30-minute walk got me down to the River Seine and down and around that area. But I used that city mapper and sometimes rode the subway back home and walked there during the day, or I walked at night. I walked at all hours of the night, depending upon where I got stuck or the subway stopped running. And I didn't feel unsafe at all. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But yes, Paris was beautiful. And I will definitely have to get back to do a few things that I missed. I missed the catacombs. I really wanted to do the sewer tour that someone suggested, but I missed out on that. And I didn't make it to Napoleon's monument, which is over by the Eiffel Tower, which I didn't find out until after I had gone to the Eiffel Tower already. But anyway, it was truly amazing. I suggest you do it. If you can, don't be intimidated by the big city. And if you guys have any other questions about it, go ahead and drop it in the comment section on the bottom, and I will attempt to try and answer them. So, as always, peace, love, and let's experience this world together. Backpacker Mike signing out from Caen, France.